Hello and welcome back to Aspen Talks Health. I'm Dr. Nicola and today's topic is really important. It is all about fitness for longevity. This is vitally important to know because there are many reasons why exercise is so crucial for your body. First of all, you release endorphins when you exercise, which is your brain is literally a pharmacy and it can release happy drugs. You have your own supply of happy drugs. It's fantastic. And that gets released during exercise. There's also research out there showing that your brain will detoxify. It actually squeezes out the toxins while you're exercising. And there's nothing that will boost your confidence more than looking in the mirror and being really happy with what you see. And that happens through exercise and nutrition, of course, but exercise is such a key. So with us today is Sean Hunsberger. He is the owner and operator of Phoenix Fitness. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
My pleasure. Let's just start with your definition of fitness.
My definition of fitness, I've got to think about what I do when people come into the gym, and usually I'm testing some cardio. I just want to see where they are. I think it's hard to put a big bubble over what fitness is because somebody could be walking their dog, and that could be, their fitness. Somebody could be a pro athlete, and then anything in between. So what I like to see is that people's glutes function well, that their abdominal wall functions well enough to hold their spine still. That we've got good shoulder range of motion, no pain in the shoulders, and balance is key. And what else is there? I like to get a good body composition test. So I've got a body comp scale that I get people on. It's a bioimpedance scale and tells us how much fat content and how much muscle content a person has. And so those are the things that I like to measure. They give me a snapshot. So that could work for a pro athlete. That could also work for a 70-year-old woman, with double knee replacement. It would give us some parameters to say, here's a baseline, and then we can kind of move forward from here. But to say, oh, you should be able to do 100 push-ups this fast, or you should be able to run a mile this quickly, I think that is so isolated and so focused on a certain event or a certain test. Marines have to run, 3 miles in a certain amount of time. They have to be able to do 100 sit-ups in 2 minutes or something. That's a very specific protocol that I personally am not going to fit into, 4 kids and trying to, take care of my wife, and I'm going to run a business. I'm not going to be that fit. It's just not going to happen, and I'm not a professional athlete, I'm a weekend warrior.
Yeah, and it changes over time. I mean, what I used to be able to do, even just 5 years ago, my energy level is completely different now.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, I'm the same. I feel a huge difference, and at age 38 now, I don't recover like I did even 4 or 5 years ago. When I do a hard workout and really push myself, it's 3-4 days before things start feeling better, that I'm not hurting, I'm not in pain.
Should you hurt after every workout?
I don't think so.
Is it essential for growth?
I don't think so. No, I think, for example, like balance or even some like endurance, strength endurance training, you can push like 1 set of push-ups, and then you can do a set of pull-ups, and then you can do bicep curls or, something like that, and you just do 1 set, keep yourself busy for an hour. You're not going to be sore from that. It's not enough stimulus to get you sore, but is it healthy? Absolutely. Are you working out? Yeah, definitely. So I think that case by case, if somebody's a pro athlete, they better be pushing to the point where they need a specific recovery day, or they need a focused yoga class or a focused stretch class after their intense workout session. So that's all different.
I would think that there's a few different components. You have the weights, which I think are essential. I've found as a diabetic, the more muscular, the more strong my muscles are, the more I burn sugars all day long.
Yeah.
Naturally, just by walking around.
Metabolism.
So it's actually really helped me with my diabetes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the cardio helps me burn sugars.
Sure.
And then the flexibility. You were mentioning when we talked on the phone about a 70-year-old man that can do the splits?
Yeah. I don't know how old he is now, but this would have been roughly 10 years ago, and it was my Tai Chi instructor. And he could just drop down into the splits and no problem, no strain, just easy, and it was super impressive.
Right.
Something that I was like, I gosh, I really wish I could attain that. And then I started on my journey. It was like 5 years later, I'm still not doing it. I'm like, maybe I'm not cut out for this.
Well, maybe you have to get to 7 years old, 7 years
Right.
worth of trying.
Yeah, I've been practicing since 20.
Yeah, my yoga teacher used to say that you're as old as your spine is flexible.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I like that. I
comment,
haven't
right?
heard that before.
Right? So I've now gotten into high intensity training. I love it. Tell us about what you know about Tabata.
Tabata. So that's the name of a Japanese scientist. Izumi Tabata is his name.
Okay.
And so he showed, I think this was the late 90s is even when he did the test, and it was with speed skaters, and he was trying to get an edge for, competition, and found that intervals of 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest, 8 times, it's a 4-minute ordeal, they were able to show huge improvements in aerobic and anaerobic exercise, and equal to or greater than people that were doing multiple times more of just steady state exercise. So, for example, the Tabata group in his test are doing like 170 hours of work, whereas the other people doing steady state were doing 1,800 hours of work. The drastic difference
Wow.
of the time that you can improve your aerobics and anaerobic capacities through this 4-minute workout. And I mean, again, I've got a lot of things on my plate. Time is of the essence, and always is. I want to make sure that I'm getting the most effective workout in the least amount of time. So we do Tabatas all the time. Every workout we do some kind of high intensity workout or intervals. Tabata's generally what we do, but there's some others out there too that have been proven to work. I think we got to be careful of just like throwing together our own intervals, saying like, okay, I'm going to do 30 seconds and then 30 seconds, and then I'm going to do 15 and 15. There's some heavily studied, proven to work methods that we should try to follow, and that as fitness professionals, that's what we should be doing, is not just winging it. We should actually be coming with some information of like, this actually works,
Right.
And it's fun. High intensity works for time constraints.
Yeah. So the research showed that the cardiovascular improved, or the strength, your actual muscles, or what was it that?
I don't know if they were testing muscle. I think for sure the aerobics, like your heart, your ability to just continue the steady state training and health benefits of just, I guess moderate to almost vigorous exercise.
Yeah.
But there's a point where it becomes anaerobic or high intensity, and that is what they're showing increases your metabolism, which is like why you like the muscle, because your metabolism's faster when you have muscle.
Right.
Muscle equals metabolism. So when you're pushing the anaerobic, so if you're trying to trim up a few pounds and boost up your confidence, looking in the mirror, flexing some muscles, got to go to the beach, you've got to keep your metabolism up, and this is a great way to do it. High intensity intervals.
Yeah, and the goal is to get the heart rate up, correct? Or is
I mean, Tabatas do not work if you do 90% effort. It is 100% effort for 20 seconds, 8 times. And so if you do 99%, you're not getting the benefit. You're leaving something on the table.
Yeah.
So you got to get after it. It's only 4 minutes. Get to it.
I find that the shortness of it I can handle.
Yeah.
It's when I have to keep doing something for a minute and 20 seconds. There's other styles of high intensity, and I don't like those.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get better at them, but it's just I can handle doing something for 10 seconds, 20 seconds.
Sure. I see something too with there's different personality types out there, so I think it's like about knowing your client is it coming from a trainer position, is that there are people that do not like to focus on anything more than 10 seconds, they're like that, so this Tabata works really well for them. And then there's other clients, they would just, I'm one of them too, that I actually like to go on like about an hour-long run and just kind of have some decompression time. Just it's me and my body, I'm connecting to the divine, and I'm cruising, and I just really feel like that's a separation. It's coming some quiet time for myself.
Right.
I need that. I thrive there. I really feel better after a long run or a long bike ride. Do I do that exclusively? No. Can I work in some high intensity intervals? Sure. I can do a Tabata on a run. You know, why not? I could do 3 or 4 Tabatas on a run,
Right.
and just really push it. But if I'm pressed for time, and I generally can be, 4 minutes. You know, you get it done, and you're not that sweaty. You know, I
Right.
mean, you can. You don't have to go take a shower after the. You know, it's like you're
Yeah.
gonna push hard. It's 4 minutes. You know, just do the European shower and on to the next thing.
Baby wipes. They work at Burning Man anyway.
Exactly.
So you mentioned when we talked on the phone as well, you talked about heart healthy exercises. Can you share some of those?
Yeah, heart healthy exercises I think are just anything that's going to get your heart rate up. You know, I think there's American Heart Association. I think they want us up to, if I remember, it's like 175 minutes. It's like 2.5 hours a week of exercise, and that is for heart health. So that's not going to work on revving up your metabolism. That's not going to help you lose your beer belly. But it's going to keep your heart healthy, and you know that's an important factor for many people. You know, just can I keep my heart healthy? And so it doesn't take a whole lot, but again, 2.5 hours of that kind of lower intensity stuff, or you blast it with like 3 Tabatas, and it's equal to or greater than
For the heart.
for the heart. Sure, absolutely.
Wonderful. And compare that to marathon training?
Yeah, yeah. It's sport specific. I think, you know, it's a big deal with you know, you're not going to be able to run a marathon doing Tabatas. It's not. They're just different energy systems. They don't. It's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. They're just so different.
Right.
So the high intensity intervals, again, great for, you know, body comp and just burning fat and all that stuff. Marathon running, I mean, I ran a marathon one time and got passed by a guy who was 50 pounds overweight, you know. He was cruising. I mean, he whooped me. I mean, I was like 7% body fat. He just cruised right past me. I was like, whoa. Like, so you can have a high fitness level, you know, aerobically, but I looked better than he did because that's just, you know, I'm 7% body fat. I'm a trainer. I'm trying to look better. You know, that's just my thing. And so it's just different training. You're going to see a different effect. And again, you're not going to be able to run a marathon doing Tabata. You have to run. You know, I asked a cycling coach one time at the Aspen Valley Hospital. We had a great coach. I can't remember his name right now, but I'd asked him, I said, well, you know, strength training. What do you guys do for strength training? And he goes, you want to be faster on your bike? Ride your bike. It was that simple to him, you know, and it
Makes sense.
You know,
You got to practice what you want to accomplish, right?
yeah, and well, what core work do you do? What about this, or what do you do about that? And he goes, we do maybe a few planks or something like that. He's like, but we don't do squats, we don't do lunges, we don't do chest press, we don't do none of that. We just ride our bikes. And then in the off season, that's when you kind of balance things out. But you want to be faster in a marathon, you got to run the marathon. You got to push it. So
Makes sense.
sport-specific training is key.
What about one leg versus 2 leg training?
One leg versus 2 leg.
Single leg.
Yeah, single leg. I'm a huge fan. I just think it's super key. Where I really noticed it for myself, I switched from snowboarding for 24 years to skiing about 4 years ago, and on skis, you've really got to have this ability to hold an edge with one leg really solid. And I found my weakness real quick in my left leg. So I started, that was where my most recent aha moment. And so when I can do single leg stuff, you know, single leg squats, pistol squats, or single leg bridges just on the floor.
Those are hard.
Sure, tough, absolutely. And you know, depending on what side of your brain you use. So if your right left brain, you know, if your right side is your dominant side, your left side's going to be strong, your body. You know, so if you're functioning from here, this side's going to be strong in your body. If you function logically, this side's going to be strong. So you know, I'm clearly thinking more logically, this is stronger, so my creative side isn't that tuned into, so this is my weaker side. I notice it when I exercise. So it's about being balanced. It's a balanced approach. So I feel like if you're not doing a single leg exercise, you're really limiting your performance, whatever that could be.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sign that you need to do some more art too.
Yeah, I
Start
love
drawing.
being creative. When I get to it, I'm there. It's so fun.
Nice. Well, my experiences with coaches, you go so much further so quickly. I mean, I had a coach in Amsterdam who was incredible, and within a month, I looked in the mirror and I was like, yeah. And then we went from twice a week to 3 times a week. And by the second month, forget it.
That's amazing.
I was in love with myself. But what a great thing to be happy with what you see. Like it's empowering. I walked down the street like I was Superwoman.
Sure.
And then that spreads to so many other ways. That's you end up loving yourself more. You can show up more kindly to other people that come into your life. You don't get mad when someone cuts you off.
Yeah.
And then that lower stress level comes to home. So then you're nicer to your kids, you're nicer to your spouse, you're a better child as well if you're younger. It so much comes down to physical fitness, I think, and being able to really be happy with yourself. I think it's so important.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, we all want world peace, and I think it all starts right here.
Yeah.
And then like you're saying, like for it to roll over into our homes, it's like act locally, think globally, and if we're not, that's just how I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not being part of the problem. I'm being part of the solution.
Right.
And you're right. It does. It brings that peace, and it's fun too. You get to go out, be with some friends, do something cool, and see what you're capable of. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I love that.
It's true. And when you have more confidence, you're able to not only attract more of what you want into your life, you have the courage to go after the things that you want to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I had the courage to start this program. It comes down to so much self-love, and I really think it starts with, being happy with yourself. Yeah.
No, I'm totally in agreement with that. It's great. Beautiful illustration. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've had a torn meniscus in my knee, and I don't know if that has caused lower back issues, or vice versa, because I'm tall and maybe I don't stand as well. Do you work a lot on correcting people's posture?
Yeah, I would say corrective exercise specialist is definitely one of my titles. Absolutely. So does the meniscus come from the back, or does the back before the meniscus?
Right. How do you know?
We never really do know. Depends on age or something, and if somebody was measuring these things before you got hurt and after, like that, you'd have to get pretty specific. But there's an exercise that we're doing in the gym, and it's on one leg, and we're throwing a medicine ball against the wall. And it's amazing how many people, I'm using a 12-pound ball, super big challenge, and I'd like to think I'm pretty strong. A lot of people, I'd say, are probably more in the less than 8 pounds. Some people can't even stand on one leg and do anything. So it's a tricky thing, but it all starts with your glutes and being able to have stability in your hips. And so then, if your hips are able to stabilize from your glutes, then your back's going to feel good. Things are going to align in your knees better.
Wait, so are you standing facing the wall, or are you standing sideways and twisting and throwing the wall?
Sideways to the wall, yeah.
Okay.
Inside leg, and then tossing it against the wall, and then bounces off the wall. You got to catch it and not touch. And
that's interesting.
It's a great workout. You got to try it. The intensity isn't there, right? So we're talking about high intensity. It's not there, but the difficulty is way up. And so in training, there's 3 parts. There's nerves, muscles, bones. And so we're all trying to get those muscles because it increases our metabolism, but at the cost of, ow, my joints hurt. Well, sometimes there's a lack of coordination or ability to stabilize. And so when we do things like this exercise of throwing the ball against the wall, you're teaching your body how to hold this knee in place. So like I was saying, when you ski, like you've got to be able to hold that ski in place with this leg and make a corner, and you're turning, so you're twisting and rotating. So if there's pain in your knee when you ski, well, let's figure out an exercise in the gym that you're going to build some strength so that you can get rid of the pain when you ski. And that's the whole concept behind training. You're in the gym to train your body how to work, so that when you go to do your sport or your work, that you don't have to think about those things anymore. It's automatic. So your nervous system is functioning at a high level. And so then it's a, what do we call that? I can't even think, reflexive, it's just a reflex. Boom, it just happens. You don't have to think about it. You've done the work in the gym. You've done the 5,000 repetitions to make it a habit.
Right.
My knee stays where it's supposed to because I've been training in the gym, not the other way around. So many people are like, well, I get my workout outside. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a few years when, you got to come talk to me because your back or your knee hurts.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying exercise is going to eliminate every injury in the world.
But strengthens it, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Do you keep your knee bent when you do it?
Absolutely.
So you're almost in like a mini lunge? Or not so deep?
1 to 3 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that's
just a little.
Yeah, a little bend activates the IT band. 80% of your glute max attaches to the IT band. So to fire it properly, you've got to do 1 to 3 inches. If you do 4 inches, it's more hamstring. And if you stand all the way up, you're just relying on your hamstrings again. So people have tight hamstrings for a reason. They don't use their glutes.
Interesting. Do you also recommend any nutrition?
Yeah. I personally, I have 2 mechanical heart valves. So
wow.
Got those when I was 20, born with a heart murmur, and always knew I was going to have to get something done. And so that day came. That's what actually led me into the fitness industry, was I started having to get healthy. And you know, when I was at the doctor, I have to take a blood thinner for the rest of my life as well. So I have to eat very consistent. And so I eat salad. I say salad is the main dish, and that's Dr. Furman wrote a book.
He's wonderful.
And it's a great way to eat. Salad's the main dish. Sometimes I even eat a salad smoothie, and that's my breakfast. You know, so I'm eating greens constantly, and just a little bit of fruits and vegetables. Fruits. Too much sugar is too much sugar, whether it comes from fruit or if it's coming from cookies. It's too much sugar. 2 servings a day is all that any of us should be having. So that's 1 apple and a banana. You're done. That's it. That's all you get. So then you want to have a glass of wine or 4. You know, you've met your quota for the week all of a sudden. That's really the nutrition I go after, sensible nutrition. I don't have anything specific that I like to use. I've found that if people really want to get after their nutrition, they will write it down for me, and then I will grade it for them. And it's really amazing. I had a guy a couple years ago, he came in, wanted to lose some weight, and he just did his homework. I asked him to write it down. He did it. He lost 20 pounds in 2 months.
Wow.
And you just realized, he was like, oh, I didn't realize I was eating so much mac and cheese. And he's got 2 kids, but he's just, that's all. And he was like, God, we got to get more vegetables in our house. And so he did. And he lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. And people are like, oh, well, there must be something else he did. Oh, must be this. And I'm like, no, it's not complicated.
Right.
Just eat vegetables.
Yeah.
Stop putting all that other stuff in your mouth. Like, just put it down.
That's true. Dr. Furman actually has an Andy score, he calls it, and he lists the nutrient value of each food.
Right.
And the highest, absolute highest, are leafy greens.
Yeah.
And then you have the vegetables and the fruits. So super important to get those leafy greens in there. Spinach, Swiss chard, kale, as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, I'll put that actually up on the website so people can reference that. It's a really interesting scoring system he has. I believe you can have a little bit more fruit than just 2.
Yeah.
But there also are sweeter fruits than others. So berries, for example, are very low glycemic, and I can have a whole cup full of those in my smoothie and not have sugar spikes.
Sure.
Bananas and persimmons are on the higher end. Dates and figs I try and stay away from. But that if you compare it to a cookie, fruit are, like a banana is a glycemic load of 12. A rice cake or a muffin is at 77.
Woo.
So significant how much they convert into sugar in your bloodstream.
Wow.
So I think fruit are, yes, you have to control the sugars, but I think fruits are on the much wiser end.
I'll agree, 100%.
Yeah, they have a much less of an effect, and I know that well as a diabetic.
Yeah. I've just seen, there was a gym I worked at years ago in Basalt, and we had smoothies. And, you know, people would come in and they'd get a smoothie in the morning, and then they would stop in after their workout and they'd get another smoothie. And these smoothies were like 700 calories, you know, and I'm thinking, like, it's still 700 calories.
Right.
You're still eating too much food, you know.
Right.
You got to really look at that, you know. I mean, if a person's supposed to eat 1,600 calories, you could do 1 piece of cheesecake. You get nothing else for the rest of the day.
Right, exactly.
You know, so that's, I think, just, like I said, the food journal thing, of people just bringing some awareness to what they're actually doing. There's just a lot of numb numbness going on, comfortably numb.
Yeah.
You know, I think Pink Floyd wrote a song about that, and it's just like we're just walking around, like just like what, you know, wake up, be conscious of what's going on. You know, live that intentional life, and you know, look for that thing to be thankful for, and let that overflow into the rest of your life, and just you know, live the life you want to live. You know, go for it, and so it's really about habits. You know, these little habits that go a long way.
Yeah.
Being aware of what you're doing.
That's beautiful. I think we also just trust too much. We're trusting companies to put good ingredients in, and they're not.
Yeah,
they're putting a lot in there that's so detrimental to our health and our energy level. And also during my PhD in holistic nutrition and health, we talked about high levels of animal products. Too much protein is actually a big issue. And we're so told that we need protein. Everyone's worried about their protein. But protein, as we remember from biology, is an amino acid. And if you're getting too much acid in your diet, your body will then pull calcium from your bones to neutralize, to buffer your blood and neutralize that acid, and then it flushes out the system. So you're not only losing your bones, which leads to osteoporosis, you're losing minerals from places that don't get replenished, like your tendons, so you end up with needless injuries from sports.
Yikes.
And yeah, it's just very detrimental
Hard
to
on
your
the
health.
kidneys too, right?
Exactly. Thank you. That was my
there,
third.
right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You end up with kidney stones are actually built up of your own bone.
Yeah.
It's your own calcium.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's wild. So it's so important. Thank you for saying the fruits and vegetables especially. It's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I've learned to love beets. Knowing how healthy they are for me and the longevity that I'll get from eating that food, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, like the benefit far outweighs, and you can make them actually taste quite good.
Yeah. I've actually heard that a marathon runner a friend of mine said that he blends up beets before a marathon and has significantly more endurance.
Interesting.
Because there's beet sugars, obviously, but there's also the fiber, so it's slowly, yeah.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, you got to experiment. You know, you got to figure out what works for you. We're all a little bit different. You know, there's definitely some generalizations out there, but at the end of the day, you got to find something that works, and you got to go for it. And eating consistent salad for me has been great, and for my family. You know, it's and it overflows. You know, the rest of my family starts to eat a little healthier. You know, and without condemning them or shaming them into doing it, they just, when they come over to our house, this is how we eat. You know, and we're just eating really light. You know, it's like. It's funny, they don't want us to bring food, you know, because we're always going to bring the salad, you know. They don't rely on us to make the pot roast, you know, like we're bringing the salad, we're going to bring the, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's important, though.
Yeah, it
Live
is.
by example. Good.
Totally.
Good for you. Is there any final words you have to share with the community?
You know, I'm in Basalt. We're keeping people healthy all day. That's what we do. Phoenix Fitness, and yeah, we're Willett's Design Center. I've been training since 2002, and we're elevating the health and well-being of humanity.
I love that.
Just going for it, you know. It's what I love to do. I'm passionate about it, and we got a great team of people who come together to make it happen. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
I hope that people would, you know, look us up. We're at pfcolorado.com, and the class schedule's on there. We do group training and private training, and yeah, we'd love to, you know, have you come check us out.
Awesome. Thank you, Shawn, so much for being in this community and providing such a beautiful service and being on my show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank
it's really
you.
Great.
As always, you guys, check out aspentalkshealth.com for more information. I'll put up your website and that Andy's scoring by Dr. Furman. It's very interesting. Thank you for tuning in.